Yo, what's going on, guys? GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead. We watched the 15th episode of Season 4 yesterday. Sorry if I'm in the silent way of the neon sign, but that's kind of messy. I have bad head as well, so it is what it is. I gotta get these two videos out for you guys in the morning, so this afternoon I can kind of just chill out, watch a movie. I'm probably going to go eat lunch after these two videos, come back, watch Better Call Saul before my class, and then, yeah, I'll watch Better Call Saul, go to my lecture, come back, watch a movie, probably chill out for a little bit till dinner time, and yeah. This is the penultimate, this is the second to last episode of the season. Glenn, Tara, Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene follow railroad tracks, while elsewhere Rick, Carl, and Michonne are also following the tracks towards Terminus, sharing a candy bar between them. So pretty much, all the groups are heading to Terminus, and that's what the season is going to end with, is everybody reaching Terminus. Glenn's group comes across another sign pointing the way to Terminus, and Glenn discovers a note left by Maggie to him, telling him to travel to Terminus. Like, she keeps egging him on. She's like, go to Terminus, go to Terminus. We're all going to be there. Everyone's kind of headed there. Terminus is like, kind of represents the ending. It's why it's called Terminus, like the ending of the apocalypse. If they all go there, hopefully not much more is going to happen, and the apocalypse will be over. They continue on, passing a small town where Eugene is almost hit by a falling walker corpse falling from a roof before Abraham pushes him out of the way. The incident causes Tara to injure her foot. I don't know how. I guess the walker landed on her foot. I didn't really see that. There were a couple of parts where I was kind of tuned out of the episode. It was a really good episode, but yeah, they need to keep Eugene alive because he has info on what caused the outbreak. So yeah, they are kind of trying to protect this man, which makes sense, because he could help them even in the apocalypse. Abraham argues it is too dangerous to cover for Eugene, but Glenn allows them to use his riot suit to help protect Eugene, and Abraham will continue on with him. He's like, look, here, take my riot suit. This guy's probably more important than me. He has information on the outbreak, so yeah, you give him that and we'll be good. So Abraham agrees, and they find a usable vehicle and some supplies to continue on their journey. They come to a train tunnel, and Glenn sees another note from Maggie. He insists they need to go through the tunnel, but Abraham will not risk Eugene's life as there are sounds of walkers from within it, and decides it is time to part ways. Like, maybe we'll go our separate ways. You can go to Terminus, we can go to Washington. He provides Glenn and Tara some supplies and flashlights, and tells them to retreat on the road if they get stuck before they drive off. So they separate. This is pretty much the ending of Eugene, Abraham being with Glenn, Tara, Rosita, all those people. So they kind of break up as a group. So yeah, Eugene can't really walk through a dark tunnel where they don't know what's going to happen. So in the tunnel, Tara apologized to Glenn, believing her actions and trusting the governor led to the death of many of Glenn's friends, including Herschel, Maggie's father. So there's a lot of guilt surrounding, helping the governor out, as there should be, helping the governor out, and him just going on a rampage against the prison, finally getting his revenge. I guess there is kind of some guilt that comes with that. Glenn probably understands, because at the time she was just a normal civilian. She wasn't really doing anything wrong. She was just obeying the orders. It's pretty much like getting drafted into war. You're not supposed to go against that. Yeah. Glenn accepts her apology. Obviously, he's very accepting. He's like, okay, you've helped me. I don't really care about all that. The past is the past. They are eventually set on by walkers, and Tara's injury slows them down, and they appear trapped when suddenly Maggie, Sasha, and Bob appear from the opposite end of the tunnel, along with Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita. So I don't know where the two trios kind of match up. This was very unexpected. I don't know how this would have happened with the time that they were in the tunnel, but okay, I guess it is what it is. The Walking Dead just comes up with some weird shit here to get them out of this situation. That's fine, I guess. They clear out the walkers to allow Glenn and Tara to escape, so now everybody is alive. Tara was injured, her foot was getting stuck, it was making her injury worse, and now she can barely even walk. So Glenn and Maggie have a tearful reunion, and then proper introductions are made. So they have a moment to themselves as a couple, because they haven't seen each other in forever. A pretty beautiful moment in the show. These two finally getting to reunite with each other after being away from each other for so long, which is kind of cool. So, yeah. I'm always worried that my vinyls are going to get wet because of the condensation on the windows. But it is what it is. If it happens, it can dry up. I'm fine with it. I don't use those vinyl records anyway. Tara keeps quiet about her role in Maggie's father's death. Like, she knows that was Maggie's father and that she kind of caused it by, helping the governor out and not even trying to, revolt or anything like that. So, it's kind of awkward. They have some awkward meeting interactions and whatnot. While Abraham insists they continue to Washington, D.C., the collective group, including Eugene, agree they should finish the trip to Terminus, as their friends may also be there, and there may also be supplies for the other group's trip to Washington, so it could be a win-win for both of the groups if they all end up just showing up. The merged group finally reach Terminus, a secured train yard, and enter with ease. There's no problems with walkers, there's nobody pressing them or anything. A woman named Mary, a new character introduced in the series, played by Denise Crosby, welcomes them and offers them some meat. Right as they get in, they're welcomed with open arms, and I will see if there's any corrupt shit going down, wood, what was it called? Wood something? I can't remember what that city was called. Meanwhile, Daryl has been forced to travel with the Claimers, led by Joe. That's kind of what their group is called, because when they find something they want, they claim it. That's kind of why they're called that. Daryl gets into a confrontation with Len over a claim on who shot and thus owns a rabbit. And Joe informs Daryl of the rules and splits the rabbit's meat between them. So, kind of reach a compromise. You claim everything in this group, and Daryl's going to have to learn that to kind of run with them. At a resting site in a warehouse, Lynn accuses Daryl of stealing the other half of the rabbit. So he's getting on Daryl's head. He's trying to really cause problems, and it's really annoying. Lynn is one of the most annoying characters in this episode. Joe, however, reports he saw Lynn put the half rabbit in Daryl's bag. And knocks Lynn down before letting his gang brutally beat Lynn on the ground. Now, at first look, you're oh, they're just going to beat the shit out of him and, punish him. But then, the next morning, Daryl literally sees Lynn's dead body outside, an arrow stuck through his head. So they went to extreme measures. You're this guy's a liar. He shouldn't be a part of our group. Let's kill him. Oh, man, that sucks. It's kind of a shitty character. It's good that cancer was out of the storyline, but, yeah. They come across the train tracks and walk over the candy wrapper left by Rick's group. So this is signs that they're kind of catching up to everybody else, and the last episode should be everyone kind of reuniting at Terminus. So that'll make for a pretty good conclusion. Generally positive reviews, of course, an 8 out of 10 on IGN. The Walking Dead took a moment to remind us that there is figuratively and literally a light at the end of the tunnel after last episode's grim events. The intention seems to be to present us with the notion that there is perhaps such a thing as a happy ending, just as we head to the season closer. The bright and shiny Stepford Wives feel of Terminus may be a bit manufactured. Well, we won't really know if this was the setup for a sucker punch until we see the events of next episode's A play out. Positive reviews, the episodes bringing the characters together was cool. Rather than focus on just one group, this episode gives us a glimpse at almost every survivor we've tracked this season. While we only get a brief glimpse of Rick, Michonne, and Carl, we at least see them making their way in high spirits towards their goal. It's not all sunshine and roses, but it's a much happier episode than the death of two girls, once again closely tied to Carol, we were served last week. Compared to the previous episode, this episode has a lot of simplicity, of course. The episode's simplicity and even storytelling was kind of since we're all still processing last episode's emotionally draining episode, it was nice of The Walking Dead to give us a relatively easy to digest 60 minutes of television for this episode. From a romantic reunion to entertainingly awkward comments from the eccentric Dr. Eugene Porter, it had a little bit of everything. After the last heart-rending episode, the producers of The Walking Dead took things easy on the audience with the episode Us. No major plot twist this episode, no shocking revelations, and the only recurring character death was No One Will Mourn, of course. Essentially, this was a breather before the season finale for next episode. Yeah, obviously Len dying, no one really cares. A, he's a side character that just got introduced into the series, and B, he's literally an asshole, so why would we care? There is some more mixed reviews. Some people said their bold prediction after the last episode, the last controversial episode of The Walking Dead, was that this week would slow things way down in preparation for the grand season 4 finale and the next episode. Well, this episode, titled Us, was not exactly slow, but some people doubt it will draw the crowds to the water cooler this morning either. There was plenty to keep our attention, but not quite enough to demand it. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that. I have a This Week in the NFL video coming up, so leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the noti bell. It's kind of weird, my channel is being formatted like weird as hell. Like these videos, I mean, obviously I'm live streaming them, but they're showing up in the live category. So if you want to see additional content besides my album reviews, go to the live, and I'll have plenty of content up there. Most of my videos